Hi, everybody. How many of you or us, I know I've done it, resisted the decision to commit so hard because we're so seduced. We can get so pulled away and seduced into a world of having to do stuff rather than being able to sit and be in total presence. So there is a resistance of the decision to commit. That's the ego. While ever there's a resistance, while ever there's a pushing or pulling away, or um, that movement, the fixation of not commitment, or the fixation of just holding on to something else as being my source of peace. I'll keep on getting money, that'll bring me peace, or I'll keep on getting love, that'll give me peace, and I'll hold on to that. That's it. Or I'll resist meditating, or I'll resist giving myself time. So this is a massive and normal part of the human experience. So while ever we're resisting being in a place of presence, because presence is the power to awakening. Presence is the power to awakening. Meditation is the power to awakening. And it's not just meditation as a mental practice. By no means. There is mindfulness, some of the great practices that we've got, even the practices of doing art or chanting or kirtan or dance, like they're all amazing. They're all pointing, what they're doing is they're pointing us back to, it's helping us let go of the mind, the incessant mind, the monkey mind. And ultimately what we're looking for, even through those things, is the relief of the mind and the stress and the chaos. So when we go and do things that we love, it's giving us a moment of grace from the chaos and the stress of the mind. And they are really, really beautiful. It's important that we do have all of these practices on, to assist. They're what they call our energy medicine. But one of the other things that I've really experienced as an imperative understanding is that awakening can only occur, one, through presence, through what I will say meditation as a pathway, but feeling is number one. So this is about going, so we can do a meditation, we can open, we can visualize, we can breathe in, we can imagine that we're the breath is the carriage of the soul, and we can breathe in that light, and we can visualize the sun, and we can use the mind to be part of our meditative practice. But the most important part of that is not only are we breathing, but we're embodying it. I'm really breathing in, and I'm feeling deeply right down to the very, very core of my being, especially through down and anchoring it down through all the chakras, through all the energy centers, because it's really only through feeling. This is embodiment. So the difference between knowing about or embodying is we can know about stuff, and we can talk about consciousness until the cows come home. I have met so many people that just they are like walking encyclopedias for consciousness, and they know everything about consciousness and about spirituality. But embodied, that information embodied isn't happening. It's just, I can talk about it, but embodying it, and you will know those that embody consciousness, because there's a difference about talking about it than being it and having it embodied. Those that embodied will be very still. They will be very, very clear, very still, very silent, very present. They will be able to express joy, and they will be able to be playful and fun and loving. But there's just this inner knowing. It's like the anchor of presence. It's in the anchoring of presence, and that's when the anchoring is the feeling presence for the awakening. So everything else, so other things are concepts and ideas. They're pointers, yeah? They are symbols, they are pointers. But our contraction occurs in the relational field, in that the part that's outside of ourselves. And so when we're split, we'll realize that when we're here, when we're in alignment, it's open, and there's loving, and there's presence, and there's this openness and spaciousness inward. But the minute we split and we're distracted and we're separated again from our source of alignment, what happens, well, that's the resistance, sort of. It's separation and a movement away from, a fixation away from. That's when the contraction occurs on that field, on the relational field. So it's really important to remember that we're going to stop, we're going to recline, we're going to rest back and breathe, and we're going to relax again into that beautiful field, into that absolute field of light and the essence of ourself as soul. So knowing by being, become the love. Not knowing about love, but being the love. You can also know that you've got people that say they love you, but do they say they can say it? But are they? Is there a presentation? Like, are they really being it? You'll feel the difference in someone who says I love you than someone who's really being it, and you can feel it in their entire expression. In order to become compassion, it's not about thinking about and talking about what compassion is, but like really embodying it, feeling it, being compassion, knowing it, knowing the divinity, knowing that. This is about knowing by being. Knowing by being. That's the divine alchemy. That's it. It's not about knowing and talking about it. Blah, blah, blah. It's about knowing, talking about it, and being it. Because unless you're speaking what it is that you know, while ever you're speaking about what you know about all this stuff in your head, it'll just be blah, 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 blah. People will be interested in that. But when you're actually sharing of wisdom, of knowing by being, where it's coming from being, it's coming down from this well, this deep inner ground of being. So knowing by being the divine, that's the alchemy. That's where the magic happens. So when we're resting in joy, we're resting in gratitude. It opens the heart and it deepens presence. And being in that place of deep gratitude and thank you, really thanking this amazing opportunity, this gift, this given. There's none of our idols. None of our idols help project, like, our idols present that. So when we sit in front of a statue of Buddha, it's like that idol is presenting that presence. So we're not making it about Buddha. We're not making about Jesus on the cross. We're not making about the crystal. It's not about that. It's about knowing what they represent, but then going, I am the embodiment of that one. I am the compassion that Buddha represents. I am the love that the crystal, the vibrational frequency that the crystal holds. I am the holder. I am the crystal. I am that. And this is where the true deep alchemy occurs. Knowing by being. So to know love, true love, be love. I am love. To truly know about peace is to be peace, anchor it, embody it, so that it rests deeply, maintain it, sustain it deeply within, anchor it into your being. When these beautiful values of the soul are anchored, then you will notice a whole, total, completely different pathway will then continue to unfold for you. Thank you.